Good morning. Good morning, everybody. And a fine morning it shall be. Good, special good. Good, special good. Good day. Liquid culture in syringes, that's nothing but food coloring. We'll add the food coloring to the liquid culture media before we pressure cook it and sterilize it. And then it doesn't do anything other than look good. It won't change the color of your mycelium. It won't change the color of the fruit. It doesn't do anything, but it makes it a good organizational tool. Sometimes you don't want to label what's in the syringe, so you have a key code and say my blue syringes are such and such a strain. My pink syringes are such and such a strain. And that way you don't have to have stuff labeled with consequential information. So that's the old food coloring. It's your basic food coloring that you use for cooking. It's probably on, the kitchen shelf next to your spices. It's all you need, food coloring. And I've done a lot of experimenting with it. It's about 2 to 3 years ago. I don't really use this too much anymore because I get all my LC from Sandy now. But when we were really making tons of it here, we were categorizing it like this and not labeling it. And it was fun. Good morning, everybody. Have you guys had a chance to say good morning to each other? How about putting a couple of likes up there? Anybody feel like liking? 42 people here, 20 likes. Yeah, we did a lot of experimenting with the food color. It doesn't impact. I've even taken food colored water and soaked the mycelium in it. And the mycelium will bob around in the colored water. And when it comes out, it's pure white still. It's like impervious after a certain point to even getting this color involved. It just takes the water, it leaves the dye. See, Anthony Hunt does blue food color. That's cool. So we're going to be talking about LC for today and all of next week. I'm so excited about what we're going to be doing together. Wait till you guys see my plan for today. I need to get you guys going on this. We're going to LC farm. We're going to take it to here. We're going to make jars of it. Big fat chicken soup jars. And we're not going to put it to grain. We're going to then turn it into supplements. We're going to take the supplements straight out of the syringe. We're going to walk through this together next week. Nerdy's gone blue. I love the color blue for mushrooms. Makes sense. Good job, Anthony Hunt's already ready to rock, he said. I'm ready to rock, I'm ready to roll, Bobble. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. Friday's my second saddest day of the week, if I choose to be sad, which I don't often. But if I did choose to be sad, it would be today. Because I know tomorrow is coming and there's no tea tomorrow morning. There's another reason that I'm sad on Fridays. Because I know Monday's coming and I don't get to do the show on Mondays anymore. You guys all took it away from me. You guys all said, we'd rather have that other guy do it on Mondays. I was like, okay, it's good for him, okay, I'll let him. It's Friday. I'm trying to act all upbeat and happy and everything, Kim. I am. I admit it. Wait a minute. But I'm actually sad. Love you too, Niffy. Anthony, he's a good guy. He's very impromptu, very intelligent, and he loves doing it. It's given him healing. So yeah, starting next week, Saturday, it's gonna be Tea with Brock show. Pops is gonna be stepping aside. It'll coincide perfectly with the 5th, which is just about our anniversary of running 3 years here. And I'll do an occasional step in. But yeah, I have to, we're gonna let Brock have the chair permanently. And when he feels like it, he'll let me,
It's gonna get dirty, folks.
yeah. When he feels like it, he'll let me. Is today March 1st or April 1st? Get back to me next week. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe we're just going to do LC for the rest of our lives together. Okay. This feels like shenanigans. Is Brock moving out again? I made him do that or he would have to move out. Okay? If he didn't participate in my BS, he'd have to go. All right? We're not moving. We're not leaving. I'm teasing. It's not April 1st. I'm priming up. I'm getting ready for April 1st. Okay? I'm practicing my April 1st-ios. That's all it was. It was pure practice. It needed work. I got to brush up on that. You guys made that very clear. CCS was on it immediately. It's going. I call BS. Okay, so shy introvert knows nowadays too. Shy's like, yeah, just give him a key, Pop. Knowing full well I won't. Okay, let's do this real quick. I got to get this off my chest. It's bothered me for a long time to find that I found this out. My forehead would be perfect for this. Thank you, Anthony. My forehead would be perfect for what I'm about to tell you. Anybody? I'm going to just show you guys something. I'm going to talk about it, and they're going to tell us truthfully, do you have a forehead that's appropriate for what I'm about to show you? Hold on. See this guy? He's supposed to be Chinese. They didn't do a real good job of doing, they're working on not being too over the slant. But you notice this right here on his forehead. See that on his forehead right there? Okay? That's a bagel. That's a bagel on a Chinese forehead. There aren't too many of you that even care what the hell's going on there. Most of you are looking at that going, A, I don't have a forehead that'll fit. B, what the F is going on there? Nerdy doesn't understand. Well, when we get to 50 likes, I'll explain. I'm only at 37 on my screen. That's less than half the people here, by the way. We're back to still asking for likes here, 3 years. We still have to beg for, like, dog, give me a treat. Okay, well, I'll explain that one when the treat bowl is up to 50. Okay? When the treat bowl gets up to 50, I'll explain Chinese bagels. In the meantime, oh, we're getting close. We're at 44. We're moving up. We're moving up. In the meantime, just talking about a blue whale the other day, Kim completely cracked me up. It's still in my head. It's still in my head. Feed a whale for the day. Push a like button. If you push a like button, it's the same. It's like feeding a whale for the day. That's like brilliant. Someone else came right behind him and said, you know what, Pops, that's like 4,000 pounds of krill. That's right. So every like you push, you're basically releasing 4,000 pounds of krill into the Atlantic Ocean. We're specifying Atlantic. 4,000 pounds per push. All I need is 2 more. I'm at 48. Please help us feed the whales. Save a whale today. All you have to do is push a like button. There's 4 ring-tailed monkey species in Africa that are waiting for likes as well. 3 of them are endangered. The 4th is actually overpopulating the whole Kebral Valley, very near Mount Kilimanjaro. We're at 47. It's been wavering back and forth. You refused to hit 50. It went up to 48. It's gone to 47. You guys are taking likes away now. Does a dislike subtract from the like column? Does a dislike subtract from the like column? I don't know. I don't know how it works. We've been talking likes for 7 minutes now, and we can't hit 50. A double like removes it. Michael knows how it works. Okay, I get it. So some people forget they hit the like. They hit it again. Now we're at 50. I wonder if we're going to stay there, or if you guys are just faking me out, and you're going to take 2 away after I tell you about bagel foreheads. Okay? 51. I'm going to trust that we'll stay somewhere near that. Why do I care about likes to the new people here? Because algorithms do something, and they send off something, and more people something get to see us. Bagel head was a body modification trend in China. It's a trend. The kids, we're all doing it, Mom. We're all doing it. Johnny did one by injecting a saline solution into the skin. People created a bagel-shaped knot on their forehead, causing it to swell. After it reached maximum puffiness, the injector used his thumb to create an indentation in the head, making it look like a bagel, and the indentation could last up to 24 hours. But Mom, Johnny's doing it. Okay. Bagel head. Build the mound, and then you sit around with your thumb in it. Okay? Now this is, if you think about it, what else do you have to do in a communist country? What else do you have to do? Seriously. I'm not trying to make fun of communism or anything, but what else? I have an idea. This is like those flowers in the attic kids that have to make up their own games. What the hell's going on over there? Okay. How fast are cheetahs? We all know cheetahs are fast. I think the reason they're called cheetahs is so you don't catch them. Nobody wants to catch a cheetah. See what I did there? If you're a cheetah, you don't want to be caught. So, evolutionarily wise, cheetahs have decided we cheat a lot. We don't want to get caught. Let's get the heck out of here. How fast can they get out of there, Whiskey? In just 3 strides. 3 strides. A cheetah can reach 39 miles per hour. 3 steps. By the time I get up and get to the kitchen, I'm going 39 miles an hour. Between here and the refrigerator, I could be going 60 miles an hour. Between here and the refrigerator, boom! Hope it's open. In just 3 seconds, it can reach 60 miles per hour. Nerdy's like, your beer will stay cold, Pops. That's fast, you guys. That's super duper like flash fast. You know that they're fast at top end speed, but you didn't know that their get up and go was that fast. I had no idea. Yeah, CCS, can you imagine the muscle and the ligaments attached to the bone and everything, the strength of all of that to keep from tearing? You know, it's just a massive burst of speed like that. Whales. We saved 53 of them today. Thank you so much, you guys, for helping us save the whales. 53 of them so far. And if you'd have known this, you might have pushed the button sooner. A blue whale's heart is so big that it can reach the size of a small car, a Volkswagen. A blue whale's heart is the size of a Volkswagen. How many people can they fit in a Volkswagen? Like 27 or something? What's the rule? How many Guinness Book of World Records? How many people can fit in a whale heart? That's a really big heart. It can weigh, how much do you think it weighs? How much do you think a blue whale heart weighs? Up to a ton. Exception looked it up. We can put 27 people in a whale heart, a blue whale heart. Woz says if they're clowns. Sea clowns. They'd have to be sea clowns. Okay? Sea anemones. Something like that. What if you're a baby whale and you're following mommy whale around? You know mommy's got a big heart. Okay? Oh my God, Free. We already found out last week. They fertilize the oceans everywhere. They repopulate with the poop. They're repopulators. They eat in the krill. They boop, drop stuff out. Next thing you know, stuff's coming behind them. They're literally a floating ecosystem with hearts the size of cars. 27 people are driving around in them. What about their babies? Herbie wants to know, sea clowns perform with sea lions. Yes. Yes, Herbie. Haven't you ever been to the sea zoo? I just made that up. The sea circus. Everyone's been to a sea circus. They even have seahorses. Here's a baby. She's following mom around. She's only asking for 150 gallons of milk per day from mom. Excuse me? Yeah, I'd like a truckload, please. That's like one of those refrigerated, that's like 150 gallons per day to feed a baby whale. That's how much mom's got to make. I'm really confused about the whole feeding process. It's like, is there a tube? I would feel better if it was sort of like they refuel like planes do. Here's the mom, here's the baby, and there's just a tube, and they're just like doing that. I'd feel better about that. Hey, mom, drop the tube. I gotta be careful. I don't want to get canceled. I'm not making fun of whales. I promise. $150 gallons of milk a day are consumed by baby blue whales from their mothers without a tube. They figured out how to do it. It's none of our business. I know, Jesus Christ, I'm in trouble already. All you have to do is make a video, blur out my face, and talk over it and say what I said. Did you know Bruce Lee? Who thinks Bruce Lee is cool? I grew up thinking Bruce Lee was, it. Of course, I was in the 60s and 70s, right? Oh, Bruce. Excuse me I have something, I apologize. One moment. I seem to have something in my tooth there. I apologize. Yeah, the 1-inch punch was. Who doesn't idolize Bruce? Seriously. And then when you'd see him, or he's just wearing his pants, his black pants that are only calf high, and he's standing there, and dude is just shred rip. And he's standing there, and you're like, oh my God. I remember a guy growing up started teaching Kung Fu out of a studio out of his garage. And we'd go there, and I tried to do it for a little while, but then I got involved in other stuff, started playing rugby. But for a minute, I was going to be a Kung Fu guy. Not for long. We used to have to do push-ups on our knuckles, though. That was like opening training. It's like, well, ouch, this hurts. I know. First couple of sessions that I went to do my Kung Fu training, I think, oh, don't worry about it. I'm going to be a dragon by the time, which one is this one, you guys? The snake, right? I was going to be one of those. So you have to start out by doing push-ups on your knuckles, believe it or not. Any good Kung Fu studio, you have to start out on your knuckles. Okay, so by the time I'm done, 3 days later, I went for a few weeks, at least. Kung Fu. Then they even started that TV show, Kung Fu. Remember David Carradine? Not many of you kids know this show. We used to watch that show, and if you can snatch the pebble, my son, your training will be complete. What was that one? How'd they do it? Saturday was the best show ever. Grasshopper. That's it. You must snatch it. The blind guy. That's the best part about him. He was blind. All sensed into the world and everything. Remember? Oh, yeah, you get out of my 18th century. I was later. Okay, David Carradine. You remember that? had to walk on rice paper and not break the rice paper? Come on. Who bought a roll of rice paper when they were a kid? Swear to God. My brother and I bought a roll of rice paper and rolled it out in the backyard and practiced until we were out of paper. True story from planet Earth. Okay? Roll of rice paper. It's almost like baker paper or butcher paper. Okay? You did not use rice crackers, Jesus Christ. We literally rolled out rice paper. Mom, we want a roll of rice paper. The heck do my kids need a roll of rice paper for? Okay? We did it. So then and you never go straight. You have to walk sideways down the paper. And then eventually you crinkle it and you're, geez, start over. Get on your knuckles. Okay? My brother and I never did knuckles. That was later on in my friend's garage. Why the heck am I talking about all of this? Okay, why? Whiskey still has his ninja stars. I tried nunchucks. And I knocked myself out like 3 times. Pow! Oh, God. Okay, I can do it again. Try another nunchuck. I had a brother-in-law that could do nunchucks like, I almost thought he was Bruce. This guy could do nunchucks. So I was like, show me how to do nunchucks. Pow! Okay, I'll try it again. After about the 3rd time of knocking myself out, nunchucked out, you know what? I'm not going to be that good at Kung Fu, I don't think. My knuckles hurt. I'm out of rice paper. And I just knocked myself out 3 times. So maybe this isn't for me. Let me go play rugby. Bruce Lee, the legendary martial artist. You didn't know this about him. I know a random facto about him that I just found out. It makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. But you didn't know it. I didn't know it. Who wants to know a random facto about Bruce Lee? Rugby is safer, Penny Pack. Oh, much safer. Much safer. Random facto, Bruce Lee. Does anybody want to know? So far, only Anthony Hunt cares. Billy D's like, maybe. Random facto, I'm trying to get you guys involved because I've been talking too much. I'll be quiet here and read about liquid culture in about a minute. Okay? I got to tell you guys this about him. Bruce Lee, the legendary martial artist, was also a champion ballroom dancer. In 1958, he entered the Hong Kong Cha-Cha Dance Contest and won. He used to trade dance lessons for martial artist lessons. Like I said, this absolutely makes sense, but did we know it? No, we did not. No, we did not. But that absolutely, Dancing with the Stars. Here comes Bruce. I think Bruce would win Dancing with the Stars. As a matter of fact, I know he would. That's really cool. My mind is blown. No, mine was too. That's why I spent 8 hours talking about Kung Fu. Okay? That's fascinating, but it makes 1,000% sense. What other 2 disciplines would go so well together as dancer, martial artist? You know what I mean? Yoga, maybe. They do a lot of stretching and stuff like that. I thought that was one of my favorites for the week right there. I actually saved it. Some of the hardest working people on the planet Earth, at least if you look at our hours, are Americans. Americans. We do get that title. On average, Americans work 137 more hours per year than Japanese workers, 260 more than British workers, and those French have no problem taking time off. Americans on average work 499 hours per year more than the French. That's like 5 hours a week, isn't it? No, 50, that's like 10 hours a week. That's like 10 hours a week. More. What are they doing? I heard a comedian yesterday. It was hilarious. It was really funny. One guy's asking him, I know what it was. Somebody here sent it to me. It was a Christopher Walken skit. Great skit, where a census taker goes to his door, and he's trying to get information from him because he hasn't answered the census. So the census taker's trying to get information from him one-on-one. It's a great skit if you get a chance to see it. I was almost going to play it here, but it's a little too long. But there's one line in it that just absolutely killed me. Thought it was hilarious. Okay? And he says, the census worker says, so do you work full-time or part-time? And he's taking notes on his census. And Christopher Walken character responds, he says, part-time. And he goes, well, how many days a week? And he goes, 6. Census taker's like, 6 part-time? Yeah. Because how many hours a day do you work? And he goes, well, 9 to 5. Census taker goes, well, that's like 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. And Christopher Walken character goes, yeah, part-time. Because I have a lot of time when I get off of work. And I even sleep a lot. He goes, so yeah. Like, because he isn't working 24 hours a day. He's working part-time. I didn't do it nearly as funny as them, believe me. Hilarious. From now on, somebody asks you, how much do you work full-time or part-time? If I'm not working right now, clearly I'm part-time. Right, Whiskey? Clearly we're part-time workers. Let's finish up a little bit about liquid culture. Listen, next week we're going to be doing our thing. Okay? Oh, all right, Whiskey, turn the lights on and off. Next week, I'm excited. We're going to, as a group, we're going to farm liquid culture together. Okay, so this is your weekend, and we were going to start maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, but I want to make sure that everybody has all of the supplies they need to get started. This is really exciting, and I'll tell you one of the reasons why. To make liquid culture, the jars of liquid culture that we're wanting us to farm together, it's not going to take anything super specialized. There's not going to be anything. If you have the special or more special equipment, that's fantastic. But if you don't, we have got you covered. Okay, and not we, but Mycology does. Mycology's going to make this super simple. Penny, you won't really need a pen and paper today, But you'll want to, because next week we're going to actually I'll give you some recipes. This week I want to talk about, for the next couple of minutes, I want to talk about the supplies I'd like you to get together. Okay? So we're prepared next week to make our mixes. So what you're going to need to get started is 2 mason jars. Pick any size you want. I'd go with the 16 quart, or the 16, what is it, 32 ounce? The regular jar. Hold on 1 second. This size. What are they? Help me out with that. Is this a 32 ounce? I think it's 32 ounce, isn't it, you guys? I always forget. I think it's a 32 ounce. You're going to want to start with 2 of those. Okay? It's a 16, Pootie says. Cleany says it's a 32. I think it's a 32 ounce. Okay, the 16s are the half that size. Okay? All right? So, we're going to start with, it's basically holds 2 quarts. 32 ounces in a quart. Thank you, Mr. Phillips. We're going with that. It's a quart and it's 32 ounces. There we go. Start with 2 of them. Get a couple of those jars. The more jars you get, the easier this is going to be for you. The more mycelium you're going to end up with. So you don't have to stop at 2, but let's start with 2. Okay? Now, when you get your jars are going to come with a metal lid. They're going to come with a metal lid. You don't have to worry because you're just making liquid culture. You don't have to do anything fancy with that lid. You don't have to have a fancy lid. All you would have to do if you have a metal lid is take a nail and pop a hole, about a 16-penny nail, pop a hole in the lid, right in the center of the lid. And then get micropore tape. You really want a micropore tape because micropore tape allows just a little bit of filtration for gas exchange. You're going to want to get just a small piece of tape and cover the hole. That's it. You've just prepared your lid. That's all you need to do. If you want to get a fancier type of lid, this book here calls them, and lots of places call the next kind of lid, it's called a airport lid. Every time I hear the word airport, I think, oh, an airplane's going to land on my lid. Airport lids have nothing to do with airplanes or airports. Airport lids mean there's air that can come through the port. That's an airport. It's a hole with a filter. That's considered an airport. So you can have a lid that has just an airport in it. We already made that when we took our metal one and we put a piece of tape over the top of it. We just made an airport lid, okay? Now we can also turn the lid into an injection port. We have the opportunity to, in a lid, make the holes such that, what happened to that port? Where did it go? Just popped out on me. You can, what happened? Let me grab another lid. You'll notice that on this lid, we don't have that filter. Probably ran out of them. This one, to do the filter, is just micropore tape. micropore tape over that hole that was in the lid. I don't suggest that large a hole in the lid. Just a nail-sized hole in the lid will work. Then we've got the other hole that we've put in a lid, and that becomes a self-sealing injection port. When we put our hypodermic needle in there and we pull it back out, it closes itself back up and seals, so no microbes or organisms can get through this sealer and into the jar. So that makes it a super easy way to just inject the jar. Necessary? Absolutely not. Because all you have to do, if your lid has just the hole, all you have to do, after making sure that the tip of your needle is clean, and we're going to walk you through this, just pop it right through there, right where it is. Shoot your liquid in, pull your needle out, and put a new piece of tape over the hole. That's the same thing as if you just did a self-healing. Just have a little piece of tape ready to cover your injection hole. And that's it. So for lids, if you don't have the fancy to make fancy lids, not a big deal. All you need is a hammer, a nail, and a piece of micropore tape. And your jars. So far, are we making this easy? Give me an answer. Are we making this easy? The vessels that you're going to use are the easiest thing in the world. The fancier you get, the cooler. Like, we have to have self-healing injection ports in ours and all of that. But you don't have to have all of that. Especially if all we're going to do is be farming this. Why these are really good, the self-healing, is if I'm going to go into my jar and withdraw some of that liquid culture into syringes later on. It's nice to have this in the jar because you can use the same lid over and over and over and not have to always be taping the hole. So these are really good if you're going to be withdrawing. But if you're just going to inject into a jar, absolutely not necessary. All you need is a hole in a lid and some tape. And then we're going to grow the chicken soup in that jar, and then we're going to get it out of the jar without going through the lid. Okay? Next thing you're going to use so over the weekend, between now and Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, I need you to get your jars. Along with your jar, you can do one of two things. You can get a marble, well, actually three things. Get a marble, get a nice little rock from your garden, a little pebble, rounder the better, or a magnetic stir bar. You're going to be putting that in the bottom of the jar before we put our liquid media in with its recipe. The reason for that is later on, we're going to be using that to agitate our liquid culture media. Do you have to have a marble, a pebble, or a magnetic stir bar in the bottom of the jar? No. No. We can stir without it. So if you can't find a marble, you can't find a rock, or you don't have a magnetic stir bar with a little magnetic stir plate, don't worry. Not necessary. Okay? It's just convenient, and it makes the agitation easier. And by the way, when you do the one with the magnetic bar, you feel really scientific. You're like, oh, I'm a scientist and a half right here. And it really does do a lot to help break up the mycelium. And the more we break up mycelium, the faster it grows and gets thicker. We'll talk about that next week. So now what we know is we want 2 jars, and we want pebbles, grasshopper, or marbles, grasshopper, or stirring magnetics scientists to go in the bottom of the jar. The next thing you're going to want is to get distilled water. Just a jug of distilled water from your local grocery store. It's sitting in the same aisle as all bottled water. Distilled water We already know that it's distilled. It's about as clean as it's going to get. And we like to start with a bottle of distilled water. Okay? If you don't do distilled water, do a sterilized water. I'm going to tell you we're going to end up sterilizing it anyways. So I have used tap water in the past. If you can't get distilled water anywhere, or you can't get good, clean tap water. That's all you're going to need. Okay? This thing gets very, very simple, and our human brain wants to make it a lot crazier. Do you think every mycelium network growing out in the world today only started from distilled water? Some of it started with polluted rainwater. Okay, that's not what we want to start with, though. Okay, so we're going to start with our best supplies, distilled water. Okay, next is our our recipe. What we're going to put in the water. Now, here's the funnest part. I'm going to teach this to you next week. Some of you are worried, like, I can't do this because I don't have a pressure cooker to put my jars in to sterilize them pre-inoculation. So without a pressure cooker, I'm out of the game, Pops. Not so fast. You do not even need, we're going to show you how to make sterilized jars, just like we're talking about here, and you don't even have to use a pressure cooker. Give me 5 people go, yay, for that. That'll help me. You don't even have to have a pressure cooker. And we're going to show you how to get a sterilized jar of water to get started with. Okay? And that should be an incredible help. It takes a little bit longer, but just because you're sitting at home right now without a pressure cooker does not mean that you don't get to help farm liquid mycelium here with us. Okay? So, you don't need a pressure cooker, but if you have one, get it ready. And then the final thing that you're going to want to do is get your liquid culture recipe, the media recipe that you're going to use, and you're going to mix it in with the water, the distilled water. We're going to be putting it in the jar that has the agitator in it, the marble, the rock, or the stir bar. We're going to close it with our lid that has the tape on it. And then we're going to pressure cook it or show you this other process for sterilizing it. We're pretty much done at that point. And now we're ready to go to the next step. Now it's the recipe. What do we put in to give our distilled water the sugary content that it's going to need to feed the inoculum when we put it in? There's 3 or 4 great recipes out there. Later today, look on my IG page, the Detroit Mush Lab 1 IG, and I'm going to post some recipes on there later today. Basic recipes, all you have to do is have those ingredients ready, and we're going to put them into the distilled water the morning that we're getting ready to prep our jars. You could also do this, have your jars prepped and ready to go before we get there. But we're going to walk through this next week as a group, especially for those of us that have never done it before. The easiest, simplest thing you can do to get started today is go down to your grocery store, if you don't already have it, in your baking supply cabinet, and grab Caro syrup. I'm giving you 2 recipes right now live, and then I'm going to post a couple of recipes on my IG. Okay? This recipe is Caro syrup, and you want to make sure that you get the light corn syrup. Light corn syrup. Now you'll notice that look at the size of this container. I bought this 4 years ago when I wanted to do my first jar of liquid culture from Caro syrup. 4 years ago. Wow, Pops, you must use a lot of it. I was making a lot of liquid culture. You use so little of this that it's not funny. For every part of water, if you're using, it's basically a 4% solution. So the amount of water that I'm going to use, I'll use 4% Caro syrup into that water to make a liquid culture media. It's all it takes. 4% this to the amount of water, the volume of water that you're using. That's one recipe. I have a better recipe. And that one works. It works great. We used it for 2 to 3 years. Liquid culture, Caro syrup, boop, done. At home and then out in the bro science and everywhere. What they're doing now is they're doing all kinds of great additives. People have spent a lot of time and effort that I didn't have to do this. Peptones are being added to people's liquid culture recipes to create better medias. Malt extracts, all different things, all great ideas. And at the end of the day, you want to come up with something that works well for you. Okay? So don't hesitate to, sooner or later, practice with your different recipes. What you want to do is decide what recipe you're going to use so you can be ready to go with us next week. I'm going to give you guys a hint, and I'm sort of ratting myself out. Okay? But I don't mind doing it. 2 years ago, I found this product. I've showed some of you guys this before. It is the cat's meow. I've never found anything like it before or since. Not that I even tried since. After I found this, I was like, it's good enough for me. It's a proprietary blend. I don't know what Mike, that's the owner of the company, I don't know what he puts in it. I've never asked. It would be rude of me. Hey, tell me what's your blend? I just know I've gotten it from him, and I've never worked with something easier, better, more. I must have peptones. He's come up with, this is an amazing product. I'm going to show it to you. I don't usually do commercials for other people, okay? But I don't mind this. It's a liquid culture premix. It's going to cost you $19.95 for a bottle of it, okay? Easy preparation with distilled water. All you need is this and the distilled water. And we're going to take, let me show you. We're going to take this and the distilled water. That's it. Boop. How much of it do you need, Pops? For 1,000 milliliters. Basically, 1,000 milliliters, we'll do 2 of these. I'll fill up to about here with 500 milliliters. Then I'll do another 500. 1,000 milliliters will get you about 2 jars. Okay? All it takes, I've already done this. I've done this for you guys. There's the powder mix. There's the exact amount you need to do 1,000 milliliters. If you've got 1,000 milliliters of distilled water, you open this packet, you pour it in, you mix it up, and you sterilize it. Boop, done. After it's been sterilized, all you need, take this guy, put it into the hole that you had in the lid, boop, done. Packets. I already made the packet for you. I already made a packet for you. First person to give me a number between 1 and 50 gets a packet and a syringe. Go. Go. A packet and a syringe. That's all you need. You go get the distilled water. Go. Wait a minute. Kill the game. Hold on. Lakita Skip. The very first number. Lakita Skip said 34. And by golly, by gosh, Lakita Skip, the first number was 34. Oh, you can't see. That's a 34. Lakita Skip, congratulations. I need to send you powder. That's all you're going to need, bro. All you're going to need is this and this. And you can start 2 jars. Okay? Who wants to do that again? Let's do that again. I'm going to give away another kit. Go. Give me another number between 1 and 50. Go. I'm going to give away another kit right now. Boom and boom. What's the number? You guys, I'm all excited now. I can't wait for next week. We're going to have a ball. We're doing mycology together. This is great. Look how easy I made it on Tiffany. Tiffany got a 41. Tiffany, she made it easy. 41, Tiffany, we're going to have to send this to you. Miss Tiffany has to get this and this. Off it goes. Thank you. Did you guys, was that cool to do? Get your recipes together. That was the only 2 packets I made. I did it this morning before we got started. I'll tell you what though, here's the deal. I'm gonna make you guys all a deal right now. All right? Because I want as many people to get into this as can. I will send you a syringe and a packet to get your liquid culture started, enough to do 1,000 milliliters. I will send you all of this for $15. It's going to cost me about $7 in packaging to get it, maybe $8. So for $15, no, and then the mailings average $6. So it's going to cost me $12 or $13. $15. You go to my site and say, Pops, I want an LC pack. Go to the bottom, scroll down to email me. This only lasts over the weekend. Your LC can last in your refrigerator for a good month, maybe 2. Okay, depends. Okay, so free powder pack. That's what, I don't really want to do a free powder pack because the LC's coming from one place and the powder pack's coming from another. So $15 if you want to get an LC starter pack so you can farm with us next week. Okay? Tiffany, I understand. Tiffany, they're right. Let's do another giveaway. Tiffany and Michael, thank you, Tiffany. We'll work something out with you later on. We're going to give this away to somebody else besides Tiffany right now. Let's get this back on the board. One more. Give me the numbers one more time. 1 through 50. Tiffany's put this back to give away again. There's personal reasons why. We understand. Thank you, Tiff. That makes it comfortable for me, too. Here we go. What number's up there? You guys can thank Tiffany for re-gifting this. This is coming from Tiffany now, not me. Here we go. I'm still looking for the number on my screen. I don't see the number yet. I'm waiting to see it. When I do see it, I'll let you know. When I do see it and you send me your address, I'll send you this. Mr. Marmars just got it. Number 36. Mr. Marmars. Just got it with a 36. That's a 36 right there. Good job, Marmars. I need an address from you. I know you sent me an address recently, but I deleted it. So send me a new address. I'll send you this pack, and I'd like you to thank Tiffany for it. Tiffany and Michael Brown. Thank you both. Very quickly before you leave, I have about 5 minutes. I want to bend your ear. I have about 5 minutes. I need to bend your ear. We're going to just finish the week. Kind of a summary, because I'm out of time. But I'm happy we spent the time we did today talking about liquid culture. And please, you guys, get your jars and stuff together. This is such a perfect opportunity to, even if you've done it before, do it with us. Let's do this as a group. You know, there's very few things that you can try to socialize like this and turn out something that could be wonderful for just the experience of what we're going to go through is going to be wonderful alone. You know? So get your stuff together. Seriously, a couple of jars. We're making it as easy as we possibly can, getting you your premix, getting you your syringes, getting you completely set up. Okay? So let's do this thing. It makes me feel like we have purposes here besides the norm. If that makes sense. So this week, we had a lot of chances to be impeccable. This week, we had a lot of chances. This week, we had a lot of chances to not take things personal. And this week, I had my own personal don't take things personal lesson. And it gave me a fresh approach yesterday as I worked my way through yesterday, just doing my regular routines. My brain was cogitating quite a bit. Busy brain. And as I reflected on my week, the incidences of my week, I said, how appropriate in that we were this week finishing of the chapter on not taking things personally. How appropriate that you'll get an opportunity to practice. And then I want to be really clear, because before my one incident of this week that gave me a real good opportunity to practice, before that, I was just, don't take anything personal. It's real easy. Sounds easy. We can make it sound easy. It gets easier. But boy, when you get a big one come, like a huge missile, like and you think, oh no, I'm tough. You got a dent, and you don't realize it. And you can't pretend you didn't. If you try to pretend you didn't, then you're a liar and a hypocrite. It's what do you do with it? I'll give you an example. When somebody posted something, you know what I did? I'll be honest with you guys. I'm just finishing up my week telling you guys my truth. You know what I did? The human part of me that was still taking it personal, like the first 10 minutes. I made my own post. And I'm going to post it back on my story. And the whole week I've been teaching, don't take things personal. It's when you're wounded that you get a chance to really do it or not. For about a minute, it would feel good when you push that send button. And then after that, you're in the Middle East. You've just launched your own terrorist button. My goodness, that's kind of taking it personal. You just launched your own. Well, if I didn't shoot, he was shooting at me. It is harder than I make it sound. You know what makes you feel really good though? Any of you, if any of you have just be a weightlifter a little bit, when you hit a personal record, I've never benched that much before in my life. I've never had one that I wanted to take personal before so much that I walked away from them. And I'll just use this as an example from now on. That's a personal record. So I look back at my week, and especially because it started out being impeccable. You can say things impeccable and have them taken out of context and then be ravaged. That can happen. But if you knew you were impeccable in the first place, after you spend time being dented, you get a chance to set a personal record. I don't know if any of you have an idea what I'm talking about. I hope you do. Not specifics, but conceptually. You'll run into chances. You'll get your personal record. You'll get better at it. It's so easy to climb in the gutter. It's so easy. We act like just put on the angel wings and fly over it. I am not going to tell you guys at the end of this week that it's easy. I am not. But I can tell you this. It's incredibly rewarding. I left the gym having pumped more than I ever have in my whole life. Exception. Do you think I feel stronger than I did a couple of summers ago? Practice. Saturday's saying it, chopping wood. And so you'll get those. And you'll want to watch your leaders. And you'll want to see how do they handle them. You'll want to find out. Do I want to act like that guy acted, or do I want to act like that guy acted? Pooty Bob's getting ripped. Yeah, it was a swole week. At the end of the week, see, you look back and go, oh, it hurt. Why me? And I feel sorry for me. And at the end of the week, if you took it right, and you didn't take it personal, and you walked through it, and you worked yourself out of it, you're swole. Personal example. Look at that, Whiskey. Whiskey, I'm proud of you. Look what Whiskey said. I got my ass handed to me at work this morning. Didn't cuss or take it personal. I was proud of myself. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, and I mean that. I know my buddy. We learn. You think your boss wasn't surprised when you're like, didn't take it, you stood up and go, I had that one coming, sir. It's a beautiful thing. You guys, we get them. We get these chances. And I love you guys. Thanks for listening to my week. Be impeccable. Gives you your Teflon coating to begin with. Don't take things personal. It's sometimes hard as hell. Sometimes Wednesday night, I said I don't want to do tea anymore. Wednesday night. Why? Why? And then Brock walks through and he says, heavy is the head. What does that mean? That means if you decide to be a leader in your community and at your home, in your workplace, heavy is the head that wears the crown. You have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to the community. And if you didn't, I would be a piece of driftwood with no purpose and no calling and no aim. And I would just be I mean, guess what? I'd just be a drunk. I'd just be sitting around drinking, anxious, sitting on my couch. It's because of you guys and because of tea and because we have crowns we wear. That we wear them with honor, be impeccable, don't take things personal, work hard at them. When you make a mistake and you say something wrong, fix it. Your life is flowing. Let's do one more giveaway. You know what this giveaway is going to be? I'm going to give away an eighth. Let me give away an eighth of extract. Let's give away. This is more than an eighth here. This is a quarter, but it'll be half of this. Let's give away an eighth. I love to give away things here. It fills my soul. And I also have an absolute philosophy that I've been living for 4 years, and it's proving itself on a weekly basis. Give you an example. I plan on posting this later today. It is only because we practice generosity as a level of kindness, as a way of not holding on to things. Do you know when I'm done with the bag and I look at a pound, I pick out the biggest one, that goes in my giveaway pile. The biggest one. It's going to go somewhere to somebody. Somehow. It's a giveaway. You practice generosity. You practice giving, not taking. We don't need Patreon accounts. We don't need to charge people for teaching them something they can learn completely on their own. We just like to teach and they like to learn, so we do it together. We're not taking a thing from somebody. We don't even try to break even. That would be anathema to the whole process. I don't think I'd be here 4 years later if I was. Bag after bag after bag after bag. 3 years ago, 2 of those bags I would traded my car for. Rented my house out for. 2 of them. The excess didn't come because you worked harder. That isn't where your excess comes from. Where does your excess come from? It's because you're not spending your time on something evil. Now you have all this excess time to do something good. Because you're not spending your time crafting posts it takes technical ability. crafting things with overlays and text on it. And can you imagine sitting down? I got about an hour I'm going to put into the effort of tearing another person's soul apart. We could do that with our hour. You know what else we could do? We can make, how many bags could we make in an hour? How many bags could we be making in that same hour? And how clean is your brain when it's doing that instead? Let's do a final giveaway here. I'm giving away an 1/8 of extract. Give me a numbers between 1 and 50. Go. Go. 1 and 50. Kill the game, kill the game, kill the game, kill the game. Mark Zamaron has just won. Marky Z, he said 23, and sure enough, 23 was the answer. Mark Zamaron. Marky Z. Excuse me, Mark. I need your address at the Detroit Mush Lab.net, and we'll get this sent out to you, Mr. Z. Mark Z, you're going to love it. So, enough lessons for this week. Next week, we're going to do a lot of mycology here together. I'm going to ask you guys a real quick question. You historians out there, before you go, historians, think about this. Declaration of Independence, you guys have seen it. Whose signature is the biggest on the Declaration of Independence? Whose signature is the biggest? Why, it's John Hancock, isn't it? It's John Hancock. Good page. It's huge too, isn't it? It's written this big. Everyone else is all around it. 30 seconds. John Hancock, at the time he signed the Declaration of Independence, was the richest merchant in Boston, if not the richest man in America, in the Americas. Richest. Largest trader with the British in the American colonies. American Revolution. He decides what they're doing is unfair for a lot of economical reasons to the colonies, and I'm going to join the colony side in this revolution situation. They draw up the Declaration of Independence. Richest man in America signs his name the largest of anybody in the Americas. Not only am I the richest, but I will put the focus. He didn't do that because his ego is huge. He didn't do that so people would think, oh, John Hancock, look at him thinking he's something. He did that because focus on me. You Britons, you're going to look at the people that signed this declaration here. Focus on me. The biggest guy's name on the list, you're going to go after him, number one. The richest guy, you're going to go after him, number one. These are people that had everything in the world to lose. Everything. Not just their goods, not just their home, not just a few years in jail. Death by hanging. And I'm going to say this. Not one of them, not one of our founding fathers, which we are here. We are founding fathers in the mycology community in America. Not one of our democratic founding fathers felt the need to hide as they espoused their positions. They did it openly, honestly, and with the largest possible signatures. Balls. A few years ago when I got involved in mycology, I said, that's my example. Those men are my example. Take that for the weekend. You can be in this revolution any way you want. If you can't afford to show up big time, don't show up. Have a good weekend, you guys. Have a good weekend. We don't need to hide to teach. What we want to do is be men of integrity, women of integrity. If you believe what you're teaching, teach it from the streets. Have a good weekend. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Derek Anderson, Nerdy Nature, Anthony Hunt. Let's be John Hancock. Come on, John. I'm signing my name bigger than anybody. I'm signing my name bigger than anybody. B. Hendricks, JS, D. Hendricks, Nerdy, Anthony. Do you think they weren't going after John Hancock? Yeah, they shot a few at him. Whiskey, Billy D, Mr. Marmars, Marky Z, CCS and Matt, JS, Satter Wolf and Niffy. Jesus Christ, in America. Tiffany, what's up with Mr. Marmars? What's going on, Mr. Marmars? Michael Allen, you know it. Penny Pack, have a great weekend. JS, you too. Anthony IS and Marky Z. And Zoe Bussin and Shy and Pilar and Whiskey, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what Patrick Henry would do right now. B. Hendricks, Slingy, Cleany, sending them back. Rahi, have a great weekend. Val, you know where to get your street degree. Billy D, Kimberly, you have a great weekend. You too, Jolie. Deborah, you're a pearl. Cleany, love you, bro. Free, get after it, bro. Slingy, JS, Pootie's a big-time weightlifter. Jason, have a nice weekend, Benny Ben. Caitlin, hi, Kate. Jonathan K, nice to see you. Tiffany, hang in there, good girl. Jesus Christ, and Mushy. And Herbie Von Werby, tell it all, brother. Herbie, let's go. Marching. Anthony Niffer. Laura, have a divine weekend. Mike Baraball. There you go. Exception. Be there with it. Caitlin and Anthony and Matt and Smith and Wesson and Michael. You know what we're talking about here, Michael. Anthony and Paige and Oran and Justin and Nerd and Jesus Christ and D. Anderson and Mark Zamron and Paigey and City. There's my guy, Mr. Phillips. Jesus Christ, Anthony, Val. Anthony, Val. Anthony, Val. No, sorry. Harem Golem, The Waz, Anthony, Nurse, Jackie Cat, File 13, Jesus Christ, Rhizome, Whiskey, everyone needs a whiskey, Satter, Rhizo, EMT, Jimmy Max, B. Hendricks, Pilar, Cleany Love You, Nerdy Satter, Val is your pal, woohoo! The Waz, Canadian Anonymous, Addison Miller. Okay, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry. Shh, I didn't say that. Sorry. Michelle Maxwell, Happy Dirt Dude, CCS, Whiskey. Oh, turn them off. Bennett, Michael Brown, love you. Pilar, Jesus Christ. I know. Shh. Michael Allen, Jimmy Max, Mushmouth, Grady, Mike Baraball, Pops, peace, love. Be a John Hancock. See you guys next week.